Well, we have some breaking news coming out of the third test that is supposed to be held in Dharamshala on March 1 and 5. And the latest report that we have got is that the third test match is not going to happen in Dharamshala. What is the major problem that is facing Dharamshala at this point in time? The outfield was relayed, and there is one particular patch on the square that has not yet been repaired. And that is the main reason why the HPCA officials and the BCCI officials have expressed concern that the outfield is perhaps not ready. And that is the main reason now the decision has been made that the third Border Gavaskar Trophy between India and Australia will be shifted out of Dharamshala. Now, where are the potential venues that the third test might be held in? Well, there are reports that probably Mohali, probably Vizag, probably Rajkot to a certain extent, Pune. There are all these venues which have been touted upon as the venue for the third test. Mohali seems to be the most clear if you have to look at it logistically, because the second test is in Delhi. The third test, if it happens in Mohali, logistically it will be easier for the teams to go and it will be easier to play there as well. On the other hand, the fourth test is in Ahmedabad. So that is why the new venue has still not yet been officially announced by the BCCI, but we are waiting for an announcement soon. So the breaking news for people who are joining us now at this point in time is the third test match that was slated to be held at the HPCA stadium in Dharamshala has been shifted out, and the third test match venue will soon be announced. Now, why did this entire situation crop up? The HPCA, the Himachal Pradesh Cricket Association, had decided to relay the entire outfield, and that was where it took some time. Because of unseasonal rains that were happening in Dharamshala at that point in time, they could not complete the work. Now, because of that, the normal protocol is that when there is a new outfield which has been relayed and the pitch, there has to be a match played on in order to test whether the pitch is good, whether the outfield is good. But unfortunately, because of the rains, they could not arrange a Ranji Trophy match or any match at that point in time in Dharamshala. At this point in time, the Himachal Pradesh cricket team were playing all their home games in Nadaun, which is further down south in Dharamshala. So because of this redevelopment work, one of the patches that was there in the outfield that could not be completed. Since the Dharamshala outfield is very, very sand-based, heavily sand-based, you needed a decent amount of grass covering. Unfortunately, now that area of that outfield where the grass has not grown and developed, that has presented a very major problem, a big problem for the BCCI and the HPCA, and the decision to move the Dharamshala match has been made. Now, as I mentioned, where can the venues be? Mohali is one, Bangalore is one, Vizag is one. These are the three venues that have been touted as the three potential venues where the third test might be held. But logistically, if you have to look at it, with so much of the entourage that has been there, ideally Mohali should be the ideal venue for the third test, because logistically from Delhi to move to Mohali, it is easier and it is much more convenient as well. But if the test moves to Bangalore or Vizag, then logistically, since there is a week's gap between the second and the third test, it may prove to be a bit of a hassle. Too much of traveling also, it could put both teams in inconvenience. Remember, Dharamshala had hosted the first test match that was between India and Australia. That was a decider. Unfortunately, Australia had lost and India won the series 2-1. There were also reports that perhaps Kolkata could be one of the venues, but because apparently there are reports that Eden Gardens could host the final of the Ranji Trophy, that's why they are not playing at the Eden Gardens. So Bangalore, Vizag, Mohali, these are the venues which have been reported that they might host the third test that will begin from March 1 to March 5. Currently the teams are in Nagpur and they will leave by Monday or Tuesday for the second test that will happen in Delhi, that will be played at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. It remains to be seen now how and when the BCCI will make the announcement of the third test, where it should happen. So for the breaking news that we have is Dharamshala is not going to host the third test. March 1 to 5, which was going to be held there, it will now be played at a different venue. Mohali, Bangalore, Vizag, these are the three venues that are been planned. It's a shame because Dharamshala is one of the most iconic and very beautiful venues that's there in the foothills of the Dauladar Mountains. Playing a test match there is a massive, massive experience indeed. So, Dharamshala has lost out because they couldn't finish the relaying plans on time, and that is why either Vizag, Bangalore, or Mohali, these three venues could get the nod for the third test that will begin from March 1 to 5. Remember, after the end of the second test in Delhi that ends on 21st, there is a 1 week gap. And that is why now, probably in this period, maybe by end of this day or by tomorrow, we will come to know where will the third test be held. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Today. Press the like, comment, and share button. We are also there on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. And don't forget to download the SportsTalk mobile app. Thank you.